on a computer and text it to me. You know that? You can text ideas.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to
forth.
another edition of Scone T.
What
from
up,
Olive
dog?
or Twist in Baton Rouge. We are live at Olive or Twist every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. If you can't join us here, you can join us on demand or live on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube and the 104.5 ESPN Facebook page.
Is your volume on?
I just turned it off.
Okay, cool. All right. Yo, what's happening, y'all? Hope everyone's having a great summer Wednesday. I know I am. Oliver Twist is popping, dude.
I'm glad you remembered
always.
we have a show today.
Fucking right. I remembered. How could I forget? It's my favorite show of the week, besides all my other shows. But
remind you that 2 weeks ago on your anniversary, you forgot we had a show.
Oh, yeah. Forgive me for loving my wife, Matthew.
Earlier, I love my wife, too. And I also know that I have obligations.
Well, how about this? Oops, that's a really heavy pour. So this is the Widow Jane, the break-even bottle night, $5. But how about this? I poured a little too much that time. That was on me. I felt like it was apple juice. I just kept pouring.
The break-even bottle is half gone now.
Okay, I feel terrible. Let's get this out of the way. I feel terrible because I meant to call you and or text you, and I'm an asshole. I did not. But happy belated birthday. I missed the actual day itself. 40. It's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers to
Thank
you. Cheers to E-Rock, Drew, everybody. Cheers for 40, dude.
I did a great job of living.
You've done very well for yourself, I was
born and I have lived to 40. How about that?
Hey.
Incredible.
I mean, hey, you know what? And sometimes that would have been an even more massive win, right? I mean,
no doubt. I think about that sometimes, like the life expectancy if I lived in a time when, like, I would have hated to live in the Middle Ages. Like, for me, I think that's the worst period in human history. Like, could you imagine? Like, can you imagine if you got, like, what if you tore your ACL in 1374? You know what I mean?
I mean, what if you just, like, cut your finger on the fucking plow? What if
like
you
the
rusty plow?
Or you break your leg?
Oh,
you know?
awful.
What do you do?
I mean, and then you get into the even darker side of
they cut it off. Like, what if you have like a compound fracture with a bone snap? They cut off your fucking leg at the knee, and they got nothing to numb it.
No, I mean,
what
it's
an
like
awful time to be alive.
There is a little bit of.
We're so fortunate to live when we live. Do you realize that?
Yeah, no, but there is a little bit of dark
to be alive.
Trust me, bro.
Now.
I'm obsessed with Middle Ages. I like fantasy shit. I know I don't want to live there at all. It's an awful time.
God.
You got plague. You got everything going wrong.
The Crusades. Think about war, just stabbing fuckers with swords and shit. Long swords.
Read up on the insane chaos of the 14th century brought on by the plague. Think about this, Matt. All the rulers are all like 21 years old.
I know.
They're just assholes.
They were, but that was midlife then.
That's what I'm saying, but imagine a world ruled by 21-year-olds. It's the fucking darkest timeline you could think of.
Okay, so I do want to talk about something that happened to me that is not in any way related to the content that we're going to talk about here. So I'm kind of wondering if we should do it now, if I should just wait. Like, we'll do the sports stuff, and then I'll get to the thing that I want to talk about.
I mean, I don't know. The beginning's always kind of like, hey, what's going on?
This could take us down a path where we did that episode, I don't even remember how long ago, where we were like...
The banana episode.
What was it?
The banana episode?
Yeah,
Celebrity theaters?
It was about theaters. That's right. It was about defunct. Yeah. We started on this podcast, this episode about... Somehow we went down this rabbit hole of defunct movie theaters, and we look up and it's 30 minutes later, and we haven't done a shit lick of sports, and we're like, nobody is listening. If you're still listening to this, tweet us the word banana or something, and that's how and we'll follow you back. And I'll be damned. I ended up following like 200 people.
I agree.
Like, it was weird. So maybe you are listening just because you're super sadistic and weird and like the dumb shit that we talk about. But is there a word whenever you are intending to do something, but as a result unintentionally find your way upon something else better?
I mean, I think you could just call that providence, luck, a nice break. It's like, I'm pretty sure the guy who invented cornflakes didn't mean to. I think he fucked up and burned whatever he was trying to make, and then he was like, "Oh shit!
Look, I got
this
something here."
cornflake thing is pretty good.
Like in Forrest Gump when he tossed him the yellow shirt, he's like, nobody likes fucking yellow anyway, and he's got the smiley face on the shirt. You know?
I actually don't remember Forrest Gump well enough to say that. I know. I apologize, dude. I should know better.
I do worry about
shocking.
that sometimes because, like, I'm at this point in my life now where my pop culture references over the last decade certainly are non-existent.
Yeah, it's rough.
And so whenever I go earlier, there's an age group that I just lop off that don't get my pop culture references. And I
mean, to be clear, I should get Forrest Gump. Like, that's not on you.
Forrest Gump was 1994.
No, I know, but I've seen Forrest Gump multiple. I just have not seen it probably in well over a decade. Like, I haven't. Like, I know. Like, I remember the highlights. I don't remember the yellow smiley face.
It's been almost 30 years.
Anyway, where were you going with this? When you, what divine providence smiled upon ye?
So, and I think it's rare that we human beings are creatures of habit. We are by nature resistant to change. We agree on this.
Yeah.
Some 40% of Americans never leave their hometown. Like
40%.
Some 40%.
God damn.
It's bizarre. Like we don't like change. We are resistant to change as a people.
Even though I used to not like that when I was younger, I always thought about like, I want to go out, want to go find it, I want to do all this stuff, but like I find myself as I've gotten older, I'm really jealous sometimes of the families that have just stuck together and still live by each other, and the grandparents are right down the road and everything. It's really nice. But anyway, continue.
Okay. So it's very...
Oh, serendipity. That's a good word for this.
I don't think this is serendipity.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, Erica loves the movie Serendipity. Have you seen it?
I've never seen Serendipity, no.
Well,
does it have Sandra Bullock in it? Did I make that up?
No,
Damn.
it's John Cusack and I forget the chick's name. But anyway, this is not serendipitous. I'm 40, and I am right now. This offseason, I got as heavy as I've ever been. I normally dial in and lose a little weight.
Yeah.
And to kind of jump-start it, I'm doing a cleanse for the first time in my life. Okay, I've never done a cleanse before.
What kind of cleanse?
They're like little capsules. You take 4 in the morning, 4 in the night.
Is it like a lemon cleanse? Or no, you're doing like a clean-out cleanse.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were like only drinking lemon juice for like 4 days.
No. It's like it's a supplement you
like
take.
Like a colon cleanse.
Yeah, not just that, like everything cleanse. Like it,
oh, wow.
Basically everything looks like that.
The timing of that.
I know.
Could not have been better. Look at what's just brought out. This excellent grits and griots.
So good. Anyway.
It does look delicious.
It does look really good. So anyway, if you've ever wondered, cleanses work. Just trust me.
I don't think I had any doubt. I had to do a 24-hour one for a colonoscopy.
All right. So what I understand is that this is a lot like that, but this is a 7-day. So imagine that for 7 days.
It's a lot of shitting.
That's what I'm living through right now.
Yeah, good luck.
Well, by about day 3, you start to get a little raw.
It's awful. Yes, I know what you're saying.
So
watch out for hemorrhoids. They're right around the corner.
Out of necessity, I used flushable wipes.
Okay, so this is interesting.
And it has changed my life. I don't think I'm ever going back. I don't think I'm ever going back to TP.
Are flushable wipes actually flushable?
Yes.
I've heard debate therein.
Well, they've been flushed.
I have heard that. I mean, I don't know many people that it's clogged their toilets. I just feel like somebody one time told me, flushable wipes aren't actually flushable. And I was like, oh, fuck, dude, that makes sense.
Well, if it does, I'll call Central Plumbing.
Hey, there we go, 925-552.
And that's why I'm me and you're not.
Why?
Because I always know how to plug the fucking sponsor. It's not even my fucking sponsor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You could have fucking walked right through that door.
Okay, well, what about this? If it's me, I'll call Hudco Roofing to fix my toilet.
Hey, no, well, we're not going to fix your toilet.
Oh, well, shit. Well, then what the fuck are we talking about?
Well, roofs. But anyway.
I don't get it.
So,
okay, look, Go Tigers agrees with you. I've heard a lot of this. I will say this. I have a bidet that I've not installed yet. And I'm very excited to see if the bidet significantly changes my beehole life.
We went to New York. You were there at the same time.
Yep.
We stayed at a very nice hotel.
Hell yeah.
And the hotel had a bidet.
How was it?
I didn't use it.
What?
I have never been in favor of shooting water up there. I've never liked the idea of a wet wipe.
You were turned off to moisture in general.
I was anti. But then out of necessity, I had to, and I'm telling you, it's like the first time that you watched HGTV. It's like I'm
the
never.
heavens parted.
It's like I'm never. This is fucking amazing. I'm never going back. I'm never going back.
Hunter Picard says it will, man. I love my bidet. So maybe the natural, logical conclusion here is you go full bidet.
Look, Go Tiger said flushable wipes are a game changer.
Ava Marzwani says every toilet in Japan has bidet. It's absolutely incredible. Look, I will when I get back. When we get back from Atlanta, I promise for the listeners to install my bidet and report back about how it's going.
Dustin Thiels, I joined at the right time, I see.
Yeah. Welcome, Dustin. Welcome.
Kate Beckinsale. Kate Beckinsale was the chick on Serendipity. Anyway.
Oh, my God. I was like, what are you
Erica
talking
likes
Kate Beckinsale. She loves bidets. Look it up.
Erica likes Serendipity, and I remind her, I'm like, it's this fucking movie where these two people are in relationships and then they meet and they think that they're perfect for each other and they
it's kind of fucked.
They're running around on their fucking
fucked.
significant others.
Yeah, it's a little
like
fucked.
John Cusack's about to get married and all he can do is think about this broad he met in a fucking Bloomingdale's 5 years before.
Hollywood has a lot of that bullshit, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like Erica. These people are like committed to their significant others while they're thinking, and they're just running around on them on their White House isn't.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite movies of all time is Family Stone.
I never saw that.
But in that movie, the two brothers basically end up wife swapping, and it's passed off as this like loving sort of thing. And I'm like, I don't know, dude. I'd probably be pissed if my brother fucked my wife.
Roger Dodger said wet wipes are bad for you. It kills bacteria your backside needs, but damn, they are nice. I'm kind of okay. Like the whole it kills bacteria. Like there are things that we do that probably are not good for us that are micro negatives
also,
that really don't fucking matter.
Okay, I agree. I like the term micro negative. Also, though, like, what if you're not using an antibacterial wet wipe, right? Like, what if it's just a little water dab thing?
That's really all it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right. Well, I'm very Hey, cheers to 40. Gastrointestinal health matters more and more as we age. And, hey, man.
Can I tell you
like
one more thing
you've
about
been
me
alive
that you don't
40
know?
years,
yeah,
and
you.
now.
Yes.
Now you know about flushable wipes. Fuck yeah, dude.
Life is all about an evolution. It's a constant learning process. But I will tell you this, that for roughly 15 years now, actually since 2005 or 2006, somewhere in there, every morning I take Metamucil.
You know who else does that?
No.
Jack Black.
Huh?
He's like a hardcore Metamucil
Yeah,
stand.
he was Zach's man from the state of Tennessee.
Which makes sense, right? Y'all are both performers,
Blowing
right?
on that horn at the
You
right
need to be
old age of
regular.
3, we go.
You can't be getting hit with random
When they blow
urges
to
and
that
whatnot.
horn, people gather around.
Wonder boy.
Anyway, okay, so football. We will be.
is the secret of
Have you
your
given any
power?
thought at all? On Monday, we will be at SEC Football Media Days.
Yes.
I have been doing on AFR a position preview series, and I will tell you honestly, as much of it as I've built that as a primer for the audience to kind of get you back thinking about football, I've really done it for myself.
It makes sense.
It's forced me to get sharpened back into football mode to remind myself of everything that we haven't talked about in so long. Is there? I haven't prepped you for this, but is there any
hit me. I just did a 5-position group thing the other day.
Not even LSU. Is there any person or thing that you're looking forward to at Media Days? How many times have you gone, by the way?
I think it's going to be my 3rd or 4th.
Okay.
I mean, okay, honestly, I love the party, so I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited to see what that's like in Atlanta.
You didn't go in 18?
No. That was the year we did not go. I think we started going the year afterwards.
Okay.
I learned a good workplace lesson about how to professionally message your upset level because I kind of popped off a little bit and had to get told that, look, man, that's not how you talk in the workplace to people, okay? So I was very upset that we didn't go to SEC Media Days.
Oh, I remember
back
this.
in
You and
18.
Jordy were both pissed that y'all didn't go.
Yes.
And then y'all went the next year, and y'all were both like, oh, fuck this. This isn't that great.
No way, dude. I loved it,
you.
dude. I set a fucking karaoke record.
I'm not talking about last year. I'm talking about the first year.
No, that was the first year
y'all
I went. I fucking balled out at karaoke. I'd never in my life had done karaoke before, and I finally did it. It was like one of the biggest moments of my life. As you can tell, though, I need to work on the on-air side of SEC Media Days. So on air, my number one goal is to, and this is going to piss LSU fans off, I want to call the Hogs with Sam Pittman.
Fuck you.
I want to call the Hogs with Sam Pittman, dude. See? dude. I want to call him with Sammy, dude. Oh, got them red hot sticky wings.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
They're
Look
trying
at these
to test.
things, dude.
They're testing the boundaries of my.
Well,
friends.
I ordered these. I'm hungry.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, no, I really want to interview Sam Pittman. I think his vibes are incredible. I would love to get to sit down.
I think you're going to be a little disappointed, actually. I interviewed Sam Pittman after he got the job. You could probably just he's very accessible, and I thought a lot of the same things that you did. And I'll tell you the most telling thing about Pittman, and I remember asking this question because I had the theory that Ed Ogeron's success in 19 was going to get more position coaches, career assistants, opportunities that are to be like that CEO role, right? And Sam Pittman told me point blank, he said at the coaches meeting, the SC coaches meeting, he went up to Ed and thanked him because he felt like Ed's success in 19 was a big part of the reason that Arkansas was willing to hire him.
It's not exactly why Ole Miss went Matt Luke either, but it's not maybe, it didn't maybe hurt it.
Ole Miss is a little bit of a different story too there. And Ed hadn't won a championship when Matt Luke was hired there either. So a little bit different.
But I mean, it's a little bit of a zeitgeist of hiring a guy who wants to be there and everything and giving a guy his break. But whatever, it's paid off in spades for Arkansas. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. I think Hunter Yurachek actually was one of the 4 honored as ADs of the year at the National AD Convention, and it makes sense. Like, all of Arkansas sports is pretty goddamn solid right now. It's kind of wild, and especially football. I mean, yeah, KJ Jefferson, they have one of the top quarterbacks coming up. The team looks strong. It's interesting that LSU took a couple starters from him, but whatever. I'm intrigued to see how it plays out. Oh, they got Dwight. That's right. I forgot. That's right. We did a trade.
If you gave me the option,
we did a 2-for-1 trade.
If you gave me the option of Brooks Fouché and McLaughlin, I would take McLaughlin.
If it's an NBA trade machine, do you think the trade goes through?
Yeah.
I think it goes through, right? Yeah.
But it's one of those where, you
don't want to lose a shutdown corner. Dwight McLaughlin's like a 6-foot-plus shutdown corner. What the fuck are we talking about? So whatever. Okay, so the point is, Sam Pittman's done a really good job at Arkansas. And, yeah, that makes sense. That my other main goal is when I went to SEC Media Days as a player, my favorite interview was Mike Leach, who was on XM radio at the time. And so now I want to flip the script and me be interviewing him in the professional capacity, whereas, now he's a coach.
That is interesting. You better get those requests in early because if you just show up and think you're going to get a coach interview, you're not.
No, I put together a list today. How about fucking that?
You're probably late.
Shit! What? I haven't emailed him yet. I just put together my preliminary list.
You're probably
what the fuck, dude? The emails just came in like a day ago.
Because those coaches go to Radio Row and maybe do 3 or 4 interviews, right? And so they'll usually do their local market, and then they'll handpick a couple of markets they want to do, like Atlanta or Houston. And what really pisses me off.
They want to come to Louisiana.
Quite honestly, what pisses me off is some of them will go do the Nashville show. Because they're like, I'm on in Nashville.
Yeah, well, I mean, who's the fuck lives in there? There's nobody in Nashville.
And Nashville has 4 sports talk stations, and none of them do numbers. It's like if you're looking for a cumulative audience, don't be enticed just by.
Come to the station that is on throughout Louisiana.
It is actually very true.
I agree.
But that's not what the SIDs or whoever.
That's why Lane Kiffin always wanted to come on off the bench back in the day because he was like, oh, wait, you're going to give me the opportunity to talk in front of Baton Rouge? Okay, fuck yeah, dude, I'll do it.
Absolutely.
And then basically was like, hey, y'all fucking stop having Lane on. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess I see.
Well, fuck, I should have had Lane on because Ed never fucking talked to me anyway. I mean, fuck.
Oh, water under the bridge, Matthew. Water under the bridge. We're in the Brian Kelly era now, okay? We're regal statesmen. We wear togas. We sip on fine wines. We talk about things like daily wellness checks. It's a new era there. It's a new era. Okay, what happened? What did I miss? I think it may have been an Advocate article or something. But today specifically, I did not do it on the show. But there seems to be an extreme amount of talk about an LSU win total. Did somebody claim in the newspaper that they were going to go 10-2? That's kind of the echoes that I've been getting. And one of the first questions that we got multiple times was, how many wins do you think LSU gets? I'm very boring in this regard. I've been very chalky. I feel like 8-4 would be acceptable in the context of who this team is. I kind of feel like my personal standard is at least 9-3 because that's just basically what it always should be. But
I
don't know. What do you think? If I was to ask you how many wins.
So I don't know why the 10-2 thing has popped up. I really don't. I have said that I think this team's ceiling and their floor are actually very close.
Oh, I get that.
Last year, I thought the gap was very wide. Like, we obviously saw them settle at 6-6, but look how close they were to the Arkansas game. Look how close they were against Auburn.
Yep.
I mean, they probably should have beaten UCLA as well. Like, 6-6 very easily last year could have been 9-3.
Yeah, it's like the previous year where you should have beaten Mississippi State and Mizzou, and 7-3.
You had this wide gap. I think because you have, and you're not going to like this, but because you have a competent coaching staff, I think that margin shrinks. I just think you're going to win the games that you should win, and you're going to lose the games that you should lose. And I think this team has so many questions on it that I think the floor is 7. I can't see, I don't see mathematically with this
Brian
schedule.
Kelly is not going 6-6.
Right. I don't see. Well, he did at Notre Dame. He went 5-7 at Notre Dame a couple of years ago.
Shit.
It was a weird transitional year where they lost a bunch of people and they plummeted and then bounced right back and they continued to elevate and they kept having double-digit win seasons. But I think with this schedule, I can't put together, unless if everything is just fucked, I can't put together a scenario where they're at 6.
No.
I think they're at least 7.
Now, isn't the over-under at 6.5 at Vegas?
So this is the weird thing about LSU's total. Depending on which sports book you look at, you will find anywhere from 6.5 to 8.5.
What about the DraftKings sportsbook?
I think DraftKings has them at 7 or 7.5.
Okay.
So it's really weird because usually the variance, you might get a half a game, right, or a game. I mean, think about like when the Panthers got Baker Mayfield, their line moved a game from 4.5 to 5.5. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Is to have a 2-game
bro,
variance.
I would actually. I didn't realize that. I'll smash Carolina's over. I feel like on the 5.5 with Baker.
Oh, well.
You don't think so? He's got a ton of offensive weapons. And Baker's not bad. You think Baker's bad?
Their offensive line is absolutely atrocious.
Oh, I don't know shit about their line.
Baker takes way too many sacks. You've got DJ Moore. I have no idea if Christian McCaffrey is going to be good again. I don't know that.
Robbie Anderson as well still,
and
right?
And Robbie Anderson. And by the way,
Terrace Marshall. Somebody the other day said Terrace Marshall's having the best camp of anyone in Carolina.
Great. He's having great practice. McAdoo.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so hard.
It's so hard to trust Ben McAdoo, dude.
Like,
I mean, what the fuck?
I don't know. I don't know, man. Remember, every year in the NFL, somebody's got to suck shit. Like, somebody's going to suck shit. I think Carolina's going to suck shit.
Yeah. I guess I wish I would have taken him at 5.5. Okay, sorry.
Anyway, my point is, LSU has a 2-game variance. That's massive in gambling because even the professionals don't know what the fuck to think of this team. So I think their ceiling is 9-3. I don't know how they win more than 9 games. I think their floor is 7-4. I don't think they can get below that. So where do they fall? I split the difference. I say 8-4.
Do you remember this, Matt? Keaton Berrien asked you, what did Vegas have LSU winning in 2018, the Fiesta Bowl year? I want to say that was like 7.5,
No,
6.5?
and remember, they were 9-3 that year, and they were 9-3 in 2017 as well. But the difference in 9-3 in 2017 and 18 was in 9-3 in 2017 you went to the fucking Citrus Bowl, and then a year against Notre Dame, and a year later you're 9-3 and you had to the Fiesta Bowl.
I understand. You remember though what the total was?
But it wasn't that much different. I mean, it was probably right there at 8.5.
Okay, yeah, that could make sense. Yeah, okay, so I agree. Look, I mean, I'm sorry, y'all, that I don't have like a more exciting or interesting take on the win total.
The guy you're talking about, Keaton, is he watches Morning Scone every day.
And he's an hardcore purple and gold.
Unapologetic homer.
Yes,
and he keeps
being
adamant that LSU is going to win 10 games, and that's fine. Like, go support your team. Like, wrap yourself in purple and gold. Be optimistic, and that's all good. But, like, when they go 8-4, don't shit on me and call me a an asshole and I'm negative and I hate LSU. Like, my job is to give you an honest opinion.
With a
I'm
bowl game,
you.
they could definitely get to 10-3. I mean, like I said, 9-3 is. I know
think that's their ceiling.
A bit cocky, but 9-3 is what I would kind of hold to be the expectation.
LSU 2018 over under was 7.5.
Okay, there you go. 7.5. Yeah, they went well. They went well over.
They got no because that's a regular season total. So they got
regular season total. Oh yeah, they got to 9. Yeah, still 1.5 games over. It's pretty good. What about this, Matt? In terms of all this wins, I said this the other day. I'm guessing you're going to disagree, but I'll ask you anyway. Is the offensive line the biggest swing group on the entire team in terms of deciding the actual fate of this team?
I think
look, you could say quarterback.
Yeah,
I guess quarterbacks, whatever. That's a chalk. But let's assume, though, we believe we have a talented quarterback room, right? So let's assume that the quarterback play is good. We'll say it's above average. It's good quarterback play. Or whatever that can be behind, in relative to an offensive line. Outside of quarterback, which inherently fucks all these conversations because, of course, it's the most impactful position. Outside of quarterback is O-line.
But the flip side of that is the quarterback conversation could be the boom variable for LSU.
Unless the offensive line is shit. Right? I think
there's ways you could compensate for a bad line, quick passes.
I don't think it will be shit. I believe in Brad Davis. I'm not going to lie. I look at the improvement that the O-line showed last year under Brad Davis. Remember, he came very late in the process, had to learn that line as the season goes on. They were awful in the beginning. They were pretty solid by the end. And so, okay, you're bringing in some transfer talent. We had Jacoby Guillory on the other day, and I asked him, I can't remember if it was on air or off air. I was like, bro, give me, tell me about the O-line, dude. Like, how are you feeling about him? And he was like, I think they're going to be, and I took this as legit. I may be an idiot, but I took this as legit. But he said they're going to be pretty good.
So, all right. I know this because we just did the position previews on AFR. Do you know how many offensive linemen on LSU's team have started a game at the college level?
Miles Frazier definitely has. Tremont Shorts has, right? Cam Wire has. Has Charles Turner started, or did he just play in spot play last year?
I'm not telling you. I want you to guess the number.
What am I up to? 4? Will Campbell is not, obviously. Has Anthony Bradford started? I'll say 6.
10.
Oh, shit.
10.
Okay, let's go, dude.
They were in, because of injuries, COVID, opt-outs, and just poor play, they have been in desperate search for something that works. Cardell Thomas has started 2 games. Charles Turner has started. Xavier Hill, Marlon Martinez. All of these guys have started at one point in their career.
Okay. Sneaky kind of depth.
And so that's not even counting Will Campbell, who's likely going to be your starting left tackle.
Or Dellinger, who would have started multiple games
Dellinger
last year.
has started.
Oh, he has started. Okay.
He started at multiple positions, as a matter of
fact. He would have had even more experience had he not. I was actually at the practice where he busted up his shoulder. It was real shitty. Yeah, man. Okay, they got a little depth in there. So that's my point. I like Brad Davis.
Here's my question about the offensive line.
Okay, yeah.
This is my question about the offense. I have 2 questions. Number 1, can Will Campbell actually start at left tackle? Because if not, that sets off a chain reaction that fucks your whole thing up.
So I have the same inherent skepticism that you're kind of giving voice to right now.
I'm not saying it's skepticism. It's just a question we don't know.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. But it's a massive ask.
Skepticism, and maybe this is just semantics, but skepticism would be, how can you expect a freshman to be? Because I'm not saying
that. That's fair. I
think he can.
Okay, that's fair.
We saw Sadiq Charles do it in 2017.
So we think he can, but we also agree that it's a massive ask.
Yes.
And it carries a lot of inherent risk.
You got to do it. That's one.
So the only thing I would say about that is that there's enough very smart football people that have, fully backed Will Campbell as being no, this motherfucker's a little different. Then I'll buy that until I see something that tells me that's wrong.
I'm with it. And I'll also give credit to Brian Kelly, who, in his time at Notre Dame, there were 2 positions that he pumped into the NFL at a high level more than any other, and it was offensive line and tight end. Those are 2 spots at Notre Dame that his dudes flourished, and they were taken highly in the first
round. He did say that day 1, too. And he kept Brad Davis, which is also a commentary on Brad Davis' skills, and Woodward probably.
So the two things, one was Will Campbell. My second question is, can anybody play center?
That is the big one. That's what fascinates me, right? I call O-line the biggest swing group on the team, and Charles Turner is a microcosm of that. Like, he is the biggest swing player, arguably, on the team, definitely on the offense, outside of quarterback, as he is the one that is going to be relied upon to make all the calls, to build the cohesion, just to kind of make everything flow. And it's not that center is the hardest physical position. It's not. Like, Will Campbell is playing the hardest physical position on the offensive line. But an O-line will struggle if they don't have a center that can direct the troops. And when you're talking about Charles Turner, we just haven't seen it before, which is interesting. Like, he's going to have to show us. And I like that he played last year. He got experience. He even played tackle, which is kind of fucking wild. But he's going to have to prove that he can be that guy. Okay. And that, too, is a big ask.
Okay. I don't believe in Charles Turner. When you've been around a college program for as long as he has and you haven't taken hold of the job, it's probably not going to happen.
Who all do you have in front of him? I mean, Lloyd, Liam Shanahan's not as.
But I'll give you the thing with Lloyd. We had the same conversation about Cushenberry, and he went into spring and he took that fucking job by the throat and never let go of it. We're like, oh shit.
Well, but Turner did that too, though.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, Brian Kelly was fucking. What are you talking about? Brian Kelly was giving Turner mad love coming out of spring. Brian Kelly was actively. What is that? A margarita?
It looks melted, but I literally just poured it.
What is this?
Are these margaritas?
It's 187 degrees outside.
Is this a marg?
Did you bring these over from Rock Paper Taco?
But I'm very proud of this recipe. That's the house frozen margaritas from Rock Paper Taco.
Okay.
Hey, yeah. By the way, Rock Paper Taco just opened up.
24 hours ago.
Hell yes, dude.
Just opened 24 hours ago?
Give it a little mix.
Okay.
Rock Paper Taco, though, owned by Oliver Twist, just opened up right next door. It's fucking awesome. You got a frozen marg here.
Frozen margs.
Wait, hold on, though, bro. Come on
Cheers.
now. You're not saying that Brian Kelly didn't, as we cheers our deliciously, daintily decorated.
That's actually fantastic.
That really is.
And I'm going to tell you.
And I'm a fucking margarita snob, dude.
So I'm not, but I will tell you something that you don't know about me. There's two things now that you've learned about me today. One about my Metamucil,
Yeah, Metamucil, and you don't like moisture on your asshole.
Right.
Let me spit on it. I'm sorry, dude. That was complete brain to mouth. There was no need to say that. I just brought the show to a grinding halt. What were you going to say about the margarita?
When I have something that's very tart, I am a head sweater. Like, my head profusely sweats.
You get the meat sweats from tartness.
The weirdest thing in the world. Like, if something is too tart, like, I'll give you an example. Cane's lemonade. If I took one sip of Cane's lemonade, I have a physical reaction.
Ooh, it is tart.
My head will just break out, like, to where you could put your hand on my head, and it would look like you just dunked it in a pool. It's the weirdest fucking thing. So that's how I judge a margarita. Do you have good flavor, and I don't, like, if I take a sip and I don't sweat, I'm like, okay, we're good. I'm not sweating, so this is okay, we're good.
Hell yeah, dude. Okay, but no, dude, Brian Kelly was talking. That was one of the more shocking parts to me. Brian Kelly, I don't know if it was bullshit, but he was talking up Charles Turner.
Did you watch?
The spring. Yeah, the spring game, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't think it was
they also
like, oh, he's fucking awesome, or oh, he's bad.
They also spent spring cross-training 5 guys at center. Among them, Tremont Shorts and guys that had never played center before.
Okay, I agree, because Charles Turner is not a guarantee, but also, like, there's no backup. Like, so you better fucking cross-train people. Like, if Charles Turner goes down,
no doubt,
you're super fucked.
But you were doing it out of necessity.
Yeah, but I don't think it's necessarily direct commentary on Turner when you have no backup. Like, that's also it. Like, that's why you're cross-training all those guys. You can't ignore. You can't leave that out. Is my point.
Okay, so where this all started, as this show continues to be this random stream of consciousness, and
yeah, the best
interrupted and interjected. I'm just thinking about our podcast, like our audio-only listeners, who just got to this point of like, what the fuck just happened? Well, our buddy Josh just brought us frozen margaritas from Rock Paper Taco, which is next door to Oliver Twist.
Yeah, and it's delicious if you've never had it.
By the way, Josh also built the bar behind us.
By hand?
Yes.
Manly man.
And he built
Brawny
out
man.
Rock, Paper, Taco, and he's going to build out the Oliver Twist edition.
Jeez.
I know. Like, he's actually like a super contractor handyman guy.
I mean, not to brag, but I've built a few IKEA desks in my day.
So,
and
you asked the question.
Oh, I built an IKEA
line,
couch bed.
The biggest swing position.
How about that?
I'm going to give you one on the other side of the ball that I think is equally as important to the defense.
Can I guess it?
Well, you're going to guess it.
Cornerback?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
You lose Derek Stingley, who was the number 3 pick.
Yep.
You lose Elias Ricks, who was an All-American and is going to be a top 10 pick. You lose Dwight McGlothern, who, when Stingley went down, stepped in, started 6 games, and he's a 6'2" pterodactyl.
Yeah. He does look great.
You also lose Cordell Flott, who people forget.
He was
who was the best nickel. Pro Football Focus rated him the best nickel corner in football last
Where the
year.
fuck did Cordell Flott go? I forgot about that. I thought he went to the NFL.
He did.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So he got drafted. So you lost your top 4 corners. And out of necessity, now look, you've still got
like, who do we have left? You have
McGee.
Jarek Bernard Converse.
No, I'm talking about the guys who were already on the roster. So you've got
I don't know, actually.
Ray Darius Jones and
Ray
Darius Jones and the McGee, something who started the bowl game.
Terrence.
No. Fuck. It'll hit me.
Demarius
McGee. That's it. Ray Darius Jones and Demarius McGee. So those 2 are back.
A lot of syllables.
Right. But you bring in.
Oh, they have Jordan Tolles listed. Nah,
he's a safety. You bring in. I did secondary today on AFR, so no.
Okay.
So you bring in Jarek Bernard Converse, who started 47 consecutive games.
All Big 12.
You bring in Seven Banks, who played in 36 games at Ohio State, but battled an injury last year. You bring in Mekhi Gardner, who played in 16 games at ULL. And they love him, by the way.
Okay. Can I interject on Mekhi real quick? Because this is fascinating to me. When you have Seven Banks and Mekhi Gardner, the brand influence really interests me. We're like, just man on the street, you hear Seven Banks, oh, he transferred from Ohio State where he actually started. You're like, oh, fuck, dude, from Ohio State, let's roll. You hear Mekhi Gardner, oh, he transferred from UL. You're like, nah, let's.
He didn't come from Louisville.
No, UL. Oh, okay. Oh, my.
ULL.
Okay. Chill out. Okay,
Got it.
whatever.
Lafayette, University of Lafayette.
Yes, ULL. And you're kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. But to your point, no, they fucking love Mekhi, right? Like,
yeah, they do.
Like, he may actually start. And it's just interesting to me that, like, Mekhi is having to overcome a lack of brand recognition in his name, whereas Seven Banks is going to be asked to live up to an element of brand recognition coming from Ohio State.
Worst ever?
No, bro, fucking delicious. Great job.
Very good.
Great work, Josh. Excellent work, dude. It's tasty.
You,
Cheers, brother.
Cheers. Cheers. You're right about Banks and Gardner and the perception.
Oh, wow, look at that. Matt said it was right. That's like the first time ever.
That's not true.
Like a third time.
I will always give people credit if they're right about something. The something that I try to remind people of, and especially with recruiting, is some dudes at 16 or 17 are way ahead.
Yeah.
Some dudes at 21 have caught up.
It's a very good point.
I mean, we all know guys like it.
I mean,
there's dudes you played with in high school who you were like, dude, as a freshman, that guy was a stud. By the time he was a senior, he couldn't play because everybody caught up.
Didn't Trey Murphy just, like, grow another inch for the Pelicans this offseason?
That's crazy.
He's apparently, like, 6'10 now or something.
Like, it happens. So, Mekhi Gardner may not have been a great prospect coming out of high school, but by the time he's in year 3 of college and he's 6'2 and can fly, he's a really good player.
Yeah.
How does Jari Evans end up at Bloomsburg and he's going to be in the fucking Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Yeah, that's insane.
How does Trevor Penning...
I think he went to Towson. He didn't?
No, that was Jermon Bushrad.
That's who it was. Okay.
I know that's who it was. So, how does how does Trevor Penning end up at Northern Iowa? Have you seen a picture of him? Have you seen a picture of him?
He's so fucking big, dude. He's so big.
No, as a senior in high school.
Oh, no, I have not.
He's rail thin. Hold on, I got to show you.
But now I'm laughing because he's fucking massive now.
That's
Looking at him in a Saints uniform, I was like, dude.
Let me show you this picture of Trevor Penning.
Now, I don't know if he's going to start
over
Hurst, though. We'll see.
There's a picture of Trevor Penning from his recruiting visit. I want to find it now. At Northern Iowa.
I mean, it makes sense, though, right? Because how does he end up at Northern Iowa, like you're saying?
You're like, who's the place kicker?
Yeah.
I need to find this picture. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, what are we talking about?
I was talking about cornerback being the most
okay, so the point is, yes. Okay, I would agree with that. Like, I'm not going to sit here and cross blades over O-line versus cornerback because I think we've identified outside of quarterback the two biggest positions. But, I mean, credit to Brian Polian and the staff, right? Because, like, Jared Bernard-Converse, that's not a nobody. It's a lot of fucking experience. It's a lot of, it's an all Big 12 selection. Like you said, Mekhi Gardner, if he really is this diamond in the rough, well, that's a huge win there. Sevyn Banks, Ohio State thought he was good enough, right? Like, that's potentially a big win. So, it's not a, Actually, now that we're talking this out, I may agree with you on cornerback. Even though I'm not sure because O-line affects the quarterback more, that maybe you could argue it has a greater impact. But, like, the O-line, like we kind of talked about, does have a lot of options. You need a higher percentage of the guys at corner to hit. Like, you can afford a couple misses at O-line and probably make up for it. I don't know if you can afford too many at the corner positions.
No. I also think when you look at, and maybe we are going it is possible we are way overthinking this.
Which is like also what people come to the show for, though, right? We want to go crazy nitty gritty on LSU football, but continue.
By the way, if you're watching live right now or on demand, please smash the like button on YouTube and Facebook.
Yep.
Please share the post.
I hate it, but it helps us.
Why do you hate it?
I hate asking for it because I know people get tired of hearing it, but
we're sitting here for an hour giving them free content on a Wednesday night. If you can't just hit the fucking thumb, just hit the fucking thumb. Like,
I never thought about it that way.
If you can't just tap the fucking thumb, fuck you. Like, there's no paywall. We're not asking you for anything. We're here on a Wednesday night, not with our families. You can hit the fucking thumb. I'm not asking them to fucking walk here from their homes. I'm not asking them to fucking commit themselves and their entire lives to watching every minute of everything we do. I'm not asking them to run bare chest around their fucking neighborhood. I'm asking them to literally take a second and just tap a fucking thumb.
Please,
this isn't a big fucking ass.
Please, the algorithmic gods that rule our existence.
Hit the fucking thumb, asshole. Like, if you don't, you're an asshole. How about that? You're an asshole.
Oh, that's funny. I never thought about that way. Okay, sorry. Continue, though. Do you remember where you were at?
No.
Neither do I. Okay. I got something.
Yes, I do.
Okay, sorry.
College football has evolved. You're going to face Hendon Hooker, who last year, as a limited starter at Tennessee, threw for 3,000 yards. You're going to face Bryce Young. I hate to say this, but KJ Jefferson.
Do we throw Jackson Dart in there?
No. And Jefferson's not going to have Traylon Burks either, so I don't think Arkansas is actually going to be very good. But that's another conversation for another day.
But also to be clear, you've always been trying to undervalue Arkansas. And it most time works out, but last year.
No. Last year I called them the Arkan frauds because they found themselves as high as number 8 in the country in September. And I was like, this fucking team sucks. They're not the 8th best team in the country. And lo and behold,
but also
they weren't.
You know how college football works.
I don't care, which is why I called it out in September to say they are not the 8th best team in America.
But had they not done the most at that time to earn that? I feel like they had.
Based on what? The fact that you thought A&M might be good or
No,
Texas might be good?
They
beat Texas and Texas A&M, who were both ranked, and Texas finished 5-7.
Oh, absolutely.
And A&M finished 8-4.
But don't we fucking want to judge teams based on what they've done at the time, even if they
I believe
the fucking season put Arkansas where it should be, so it all worked out in the end.
and I have always said this.
You sound like the CFP right now.
Rankings should not come out until October. I don't need preseason for this reason. For this fucking reason.
That's no fun.
Because it doesn't matter. It's fun. All of our opinions are shaped based around what the fucking preseason rankings are. What you should be. You played on a team in 2008 that was preseason number 3 in the country.
Yeah.
And y'all sucked cock.
Hey, we went 8-5.
You sucked
we
dick.
had 3-5 in the SC. Bro, I tore my ACL. I didn't play, bro.
You were 7-5. You got your ass kicked at Florida.
Not me.
You gave up 52 against
I got
Georgia.
knocked out of Florida.
I
won in that game. Nah, bro, I fucking tore my
fucking
ACL.
terrible.
You can't blame me. It's just like I didn't play in the Natty. You can't
You were
blame
on the
me.
team. Yeah, that's right.
I mean, correlating factors, correlation, causation.
Yeah.
Anytime you took me out, the team got fucked. How about that, Matt?
Less.
Think about it.
What if you had played T-Bob in the Natty?
Yeah, we would have fucking won.
Everybody's been asking the wrong question. It's
hey,
not what if you had played Lee. It's what if you had played T.
How about this shit? I fucking guarantee we wouldn't have done worse. Okay? How about fucking that?
Yes.
I do believe that. Anyway, I'm sorry. Now I'm just going off on rants because this margarita is so delicious.
Get your questions in.
I've been logging them in the chat when I've seen them come in with the hashtag
I don't care if
Scone
you've
T.
been logging them.
I'm just letting the listen. God damn it! I'm not talking to you, dumbass. I'm talking to listeners so they know their questions aren't going into the void. Continue.
Do you know how many people have joined us since we started that don't know that? So I'm letting them know.
And I'm letting them know. This ain't Patreon. This is Freetreon, says Jeb Whitley. When does T-Rob get invited to talk to Ryan Clark's podcast, talk about the Natty? I don't think Ryan Clark's going to be in I don't think Ryan Clark's going to be talking to me anytime, yeah.
Why? Y'all got a problem?
No, bro. I just don't think – I mean, I think we're technically cool, but I don't think he likes me.
Why?
I've told this story multiple times on air, so I apologize to those who've heard it before, but, like, years and years ago, when a lot of the politics and sports debate started to really open up, somebody tweeted me. He was on something with Jamel Hill, and they tweeted me asking if they were going to talk about, God damn it, some subject. And now this entire story is ruined because I can't remember what it was. But I basically tweeted, like, I don't think they're going to address it just because, like, whatever. Like, I just thought, like, in terms of the content of the show, that they just weren't going to get to it. And then he, like, quote tweeted, like, I don't know who fucking T here is, like, fucking, like, I don't
know what you just said. You just mumbled.
He was, because I can't remember the exact words, so I probably shouldn't be telling the story anyway. But it was basically like, he was just like, look, I don't know T-Bob from fucking shit, blah, blah, blah. Like, fuck they do, we'll talk about what we want. And, it was about the kneeling thing. And they asked me, like, are they going to talk about it? And I just said, like, I don't think they're going to talk about it today. The great irony is that I think mine and Ryan's viewpoints were much more aligned than he probably thought.
Yeah, I don't think he remembers this at all or cares.
He disliked me for a while. I finally last time texted him and basically got a response like, hey man, like, who are you? Like, what is this? Like, whatever. So I don't know. Whatever. The point is, I don't think I'm going on the pivot anytime soon. I like Ryan Clark. I think the pivot's great. I think the Jamarcus quote
Did you watch it?
Is incredible. I haven't watched it yet.
I stayed up last night and watched it.
I was going to watch it tonight.
It was, 11 o'clock. I was finally finished work for the day. We had Drew asleep. I'm like, I'm staying up and watching this. See, like, I don't know how you see Jamarcus. Do you remember Jamarcus at LSU?
Fuck yeah, bro. I was at that.
No.
That's yes, absolutely.
Well, I just like. I know you came here in 2007, so you were a year after him. And you were in the recruiting class. I just don't know how big of a fan you were
I was always
as a kid.
I started being diehard LSU in 2001. When like as a younger kid, 9, 10, 11, I always liked LSU and Watson. But when me and my grandpa went to the 2001 SC Championship together, just me and him, and I watched Matt Mock lead these incredible comeback against the Volunteers, and I watched my very Cajun grandfather yell at all these Tennessee fans, your Roses have winned! Your Roses have winned! And then they threw beer on us because they were so pissed. It's literally one of the greatest memories of my life.
Mine
Rest
too,
in
actually.
peace, Bobby Hebert Sr., the OG
yeah.
Bobby Hebert. Fucking COVID. But yeah, man. The point is, by the time Jamarcus rolled around, yes, I was living or dying with LSU.
Okay. The pivot with Jamarcus was awesome because since Jamarcus has been out of the NFL, he just hasn't done much media. And what he has done certainly hasn't been as long form as an hour and 23 minutes sit down with dudes he's comfortable with where he just tells everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff that he talked about with the Raiders, and I want to be very clear, I'm not absolving Jamarcus. I'm not saying his failure was other people's fault. He has culpability. I think the coexisting reality
that's so funny. I was about to say I'm a big fan of the idea of coexisting truths. A lot of times we don't want to allow for that, but it can exist.
I think Jamarcus has culpability, but I think you have, in a lot of cases, some dudes at 21 that are way more mature than others, and he wasn't. But
and the Raiders were a fucking dumpster
and
fire.
that's the point. He told a lot of stories which led you to believe, like, Tom Cable and the Raiders not the Raiders, because Al Davis loved him. Al Davis wanted Jamarcus, but his coaches didn't. And so, as a young kid who needed to kind of be fostered and groomed a little,
maybe that was
he wasn't in a situation where it could happen.
Yeah.
And so I gave this example today, and I don't know if this makes sense. I really don't. And some people are going to roll their eyes because it's not a one-to-one type thing. But, like, it reminded me of Brett Favre. So Favre was drafted by the Falcons. Similar, right? Country dude from the deep south. Hadn't really been worldly. He goes to Atlanta where Jerry Glanville's the coach, and Jerry Glanville literally said, in order for you to play, the plane would have to crash. Like, he was never on board with Favre. So they ship him to Green Bay,
which is
where they have structure.
Which is insane because Glanville ran and shoot. Right? Like, should that have been Favre's, like, this is P1? He would have been great.
Point is, they sent Brett to a structured organization with good leadership, a coach in Mike Holmgren that nurtured him, and he became a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying Jamarcus would have been a Hall of Famer in a different offense. What I'm saying
you can't ignore the impact of setting.
He wouldn't have been a 3-year and never in the league again. The other thing I didn't know,
Jake brought this up this morning. What happens if Darren McFadden never goes to the Raiders? Like, I mean, there's so many great players that are ruined by bad situations.
And Jamarcus is that's exacerbated because he's a quarterback and because he got $35 million guaranteed and $60 million, did all this stuff. But anyway, and he was just a spectacular bust being out of the league in 3 years. But he did say the Bears offered him a contract, but he was getting microfracture knee surgery the next day. And so he couldn't go back. And so it was like, and then he never got another crack. Like, he would have been back in the league actually at a place that has been a stable. I mean, the Bears haven't been very good, but at least you have Mrs. Hallis, who's the owner, who's like almost 100 now, and you've got at least organizational
the Bears have been
structure.
Significantly better
than the Raiders, no doubt.
Yes.
But the Bears they've turned over a lot of coaches. They've missed a bunch on quarterbacks and coaches and all kind of shit. You understand? But yes, they're better than the Raiders. Anyway, it was interesting. All right, you want to do questions?
Yes, I do. All right. Okay. Oh shit.
You know the other thing I think about too with Jamarcus. Because I was doing radio at the time when I was doing sports radio at the time he was drafted. He was in Oakland, and he did talk about this on the Pivot. When he went there, I was pretty excited because they had Randy Moss.
Oh, they had him at the time,
and traded him.
Okay.
To New England.
But again, is that not the exact commentary you need on the Raiders franchise?
Like,
right?
if you had
given
Randy
Moss was garbage there, and then he set the NFL record a year later in New England.
If you had given Jamarcus. And the reason I had this image of Randy Moss in that 06 season with the Raiders, and you could find it. He had a big fro. Like, his hair wasn't into rows. Like, he had froed it out.
That's the cash money, Randy Moss.
Dude, and he's on the bench, slumped down like this with his helmet in his hand, just like this. And it was like, Jesus, what a disaster. And they had, what was the tight end's name? Porter? What was the tight end's name for the Raiders? And they sent him away as well. They had weapons. And you're like, oh, man, Jamarcus has got some dudes he's going to throw to. And they got rid of all of them. Just boom, 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 boom. Anyway.
Tom Cable asked my boy Will. Tom Cable was the O-line coach of the Seattle Seahawks. And Will went up there to do an interview. And Tom Cable asks him if he had ever smoked black tar heroin, which I always thought was pretty fucking extreme. Tom, relax, dude. Hashtag Ask Scone T. Isn't the biggest hit on BK the 4-11 record versus top 10 teams and that he could not recruit?
I think that's why he's here.
That is exactly why he's here.
Because, and to explain, when you're talking about the elite of the elite in college football, he could recruit fine at Notre Dame 1-22. The problem was 23 to 85, having everybody that looked like 1-22. And you could never build a roster like that. He made it into 2 playoffs and a BCS championship game. But when he ran up against the best in the country, they got skull-fucked. Because he couldn't get a roster 1-85 to Notre Dame. He can do it here, which is why he's here.
Yeah, I mean, why do you – exactly, yes. Bilbo T. Baggins asked us, should T-Bob peg Moscona for 10 straight years of LSU dominance? Yes.
Should you what me?
Peg you.
Peg me?
Peg you.
Peg.
Which I guess at this point I'm just fucking you. But
I don't get it.
Well, normally with pegging, it's in a straight relationship where the female will put on a strap-on and have sex with the male anally.
That's what
but
that
if
is?
it was me and you, then I think it's just sex at that
No,
point.
I'd be good with LSU losing for 10 straight years. I'm not. That's not.
No, I already said yes. So let the record show that's how we feel on this podcast. Hashtag Ask Us from John Cormery. Only the people who are most afraid of, oh, God damn it, loving getting pegged are closed off to the idea.
Why would you read this shit?
I don't know. I copy the hashtags. I'm like Biden or Burgundy. You know, you put it on the prompter and I read it. Hashtag Ask Scone T.
Read it before you read it out loud, you fucking moron.
Yeah, I know, dude. You know, sometimes you step into things.
Or maybe you really want to read it, you dickhead.
From Bilbo Baggins. No, I swear to God, I did it on that one.
Fuck you.
Bilbo Baggins, ask us, bigger legend, swam or sliced bread?
What's the swim thing?
That's
We
the
talked
guy
about it last week.
That's the
I know
guy
I
who
talked
was
about
like,
it.
he tweeted out like, ESPN
Realignment,
is trying
yes.
to avoid their
Yeah.
They're trying to avoid their contract so that they can get like Virginia Tech and everybody else. It's like, what? So ESPN's going to give away the best deal that they have? What?
I quote tweeted swam, and I was like, brilliant job trolling to get people to know what the fuck swim
Hey,
is.
and the best part is, if you read the actual article, he approached it from a purely swimming perspective.
I didn't.
He was talking about.
I didn't give him the satisfaction
So
of a click.
all the teams that he was talking about joining, he wasn't talking about football. He was only talking about their swimming programs and what an elite powerhouse the SEC would become. Because obviously, with the addition of Texas, they are, dude.
Okay, next. Don't care.
But who's bigger legend, swim or sliced bread?
Neither.
Oh, bro, sliced bread is the legend. He caused a lot of shit this offseason.
By the way, Jimbo Fisher has got to be the stupidest motherfucker in the world to continue to say, bro, Bible sliced bread. Like,
yeah, he's
why
giving him
would
so
you
much
give
run,
validation
dude.
to that?
I didn't even know who sliced bread was until
I
Jimbo
don't even know
said
what the
it.
fuck Bro Bible was.
Oh, I knew about Bro Bible from like early internet. It was like Break.com.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like Lad Bible,
Oh.
Bro Bible, Break.com. It's some early internet bullshit. Like Chive. You remember the Chive?
No.
Oh, you remember the Chive? You remember that?
Next. I'm looking for this Randy Moss
By the
picture
way-
in earnest.
by the way-
That's one that I found. It's not the one I'm looking for. But, man, I want to find it.
The biggest legend is actually Ballsack Sports. Did you see ESPN today?
No.
So Ballsack Sports is a guy who does fake quotes on Twitter, and he's literally Ballsack Sports.
Was that the one about John Morant?
Yes. ESPN had to issue an on-air apology for
Talked
doing
about it.
entire segments on a Ballsack Sports tweet.
So I talked about it yesterday, and this is where I am sympathetic to the audience, because when David Jacoby, Kendrick Perkins, all of the producers,
all the
and
producers,
content
the big issue
producers
there, yeah,
who are
yeah,
putting
yeah.
together the segments, when that gets by all of them, like, what the fuck?
Bro, his literal
What
name
the
is
fuck?
Ballsack Sports. It's unreal. And you know what the funniest part is? His pinned tweet says, beware of fake quotes, and then has a graphic with the exact breakdown of how you fake a quote.
Dude, I know you'll never describe yourself as a journalist.
Yeah,
I'm not either. But like, I went to J school, and I
did not.
And my first 5 years of my career were in news. Like, I am so hyper aware of that stuff. Like, it's just because when that's like how you're trained, like it's just beaten into you.
It's really it's like you
so
said,
hard to watch.
the true failure there, because ESPN has great producers. Whichever people just ran with a single tweet and did not try to check it, that's too much. Yeah. Here, what's up?
Tam?
Yeah. Hashtag Ask Scone T. Do y'all, Kobe asks, do you trust our offense or defense
doing
more?
here?
I don't know. Do you trust our offense or defense more? LSU football.
This is going to be a weird answer, but I'm going to say defense because I think the line of scrimmage is going to be so good that they're going to have the ability to pressure the quarterback, stop the run, and potentially make teams one-dimensional. I think Matt House was a great hire. I really do. I think he's going to be fantastic. When Matt House was at Kentucky, bro, he had Josh Allen the year he had 21 sacks.
Yep.
Or 21 tackles for 17 sacks. I really, really, really think Ojulari, Mason Smith, I think these dudes are going to fucking thrive this year. I really think.
Roy,
I really think.
Gay.
I'm worried about the cornerback position. No bullshit, I am.
But D-line helps that.
Yeah, I know we talked about it, but it's But I think this is going to be a defense-led. If we, at the end of the season, I think we'll look back in a retrospective of LSU football this year and go, defense outpaced offense this year.
I completely agree. I think you nailed it. And I would love to be wrong, because if we're wrong, that means LSU probably wins 10 games. So I think the defense I think the defense will be good. And if the offense is even better, then they ball out.
Are you completely incapable of doing anything like this quickly? Because it's 8:01 already.
How good will the Pelicans be this year? 50 wins?
5 seed.
50 wins. 50 wins. And finally,
5 seed.
How pumped are you for the James Webb Telescope?
I don't know what that is.
You don't know about the James Webb Telescope? The telescope that is literally peering 13.6 billion years into the past, into the birth of our universe.
Okay.
The telescope that just found a massive planet with water in the atmosphere.
Just to get you to shut the fuck up, I'll actually acknowledge something called Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo, that's your boy, dude. You and Bilbo had one of the most famous whiskey and wine interactions ever.
He's the motherfucker that came up behind me?
Yes, dude.
All right, I'm actually going to read his comment.
Yes, let's go, dude.
Thoughts on FSU already selling out their ticket allotment? He used the wrong conjugation of there, by the way.
Jesus.
No, he actually did right. He did right.
Oh, well, it looks like the grammar
LSU
Nazi ends up in the
it.
gas chamber after all.
He got it. Well, LSU hasn't announced it. I think LSU fans bought Florida State tickets. Ask T-Bob, how mad were you against Tennessee when you threw your helmet?
Top 5 most angry I've ever been in my entire life.
Jordan had that at Scone T. I was saying the hit is the record, not the recruiting. He had some stat classes at Notre Dame.
He was saying that, so what he is saying is the earlier question about the real hit against Brian Kelly is 4-11 against top 10 teams, saying despite the fact that he had stat classes.
Well, let me go look at Facebook.
How about the legend of Zach Wilson? Asked Duster Blanchard.
Brady Beacom, do you think Clemson, Florida State, Virginia, North Carolina should join the SEC?
Who? North Carolina?
Clemson, Florida State, Virginia, North Carolina. No.
Swam.
Virginia and North Carolina are the answers.
Either way, isn't the SEC chilling for now, though? Or do you believe that report that they just want to chill at 16 for now?
Jason Austin, what's the real reason you didn't play in the Natty?
I caused a massive fight at Rick's Cabaret the night before the game. What are you going to do, dude? You know?
Ask Matt, can you explain why you think the ceiling for LSU is 9-3? Yes, there are gigantic questions on both sides of the ball, and the schedule is very hard.
Yeah, it's fair. Ask Scone T, was Matt's song on MySpace, Alanis Morissette's Uninvited, as a tribute to the, quote, no girls allowed, end quote, sign on his bedroom door?
I'm trying to remember
what your MySpace autoplay song was.
There was an autoplay on MySpace?
That was one of the most obnoxious parts and something that I vehemently hate.
God, I'm trying to remember MySpace.
Any website that will autoplay sound. But, yes, back in the day, you could click on a MySpace and a song would immediately start playing. I did not have an autoplay song.
I don't think
MySpace was so crazy. Dude. All of a sudden, you're like, whoa, dude. Girls are, like, posting pictures of, like, their cleavage, and guys
So
are,
you
like,
gotta keep
posting
in mind
pictures
this,
of their
too.
abs. Like,
So-
whoa, what's going on here, dude?
So MySpace and Facebook were around the same time, and I was in college and then just out of college.
Yeah.
And at the time, for Facebook, you had to have a .edu.
.edu, dude.
And so I did. So it was a college networking deal.
Choo.
And then MySpace was started as a platform for musicians to get free distribution of their music. And I was working at Rock 93.7 at the time. So I was like in rock radio at the time as well. So my experience on MySpace, I think, was a lot different than everybody else's. And it was so limited because Facebook at the time
If you had a .edu,
It
you
was-
were going Facebook.
it just dramatically outperformed.
All
if
the
I-
high schoolers, I was in high school, all the high schoolers were going on MySpace, and it was a massive deal when Facebook extended to high school.
And that's when that's when people of my age left Facebook.
yeah.
Because it was like, oh, they let the high schoolers on, and then they let your parents on. And it's
let
like,
the fucking nerds on, dude.
well, then they let parents on. It's
Yeah.
like your fucking parents and grandparents are there. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
God damn it. There is a buried T-Bob A-Bear Facebook somewhere out there that I hope never sees the
So
light of day.
I have one as well. But so my original Facebook,
My original one, I hope never sees the light of day.
I've tried to log into it again, and I can't. I know the username and the password, but it's been so long that I'm locked out of it. And they're like, okay, to confirm it's you, have this like 5 people acknowledge it's you, and I'm like, I don't know any of the.
Yeah,
those
like what the
people.
fuck are we
I'm
talking
like,
about here, dude?
it's gone. I mean, maybe I'll run into Zucks one day and ask him about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, man.
There are like young Matty Moe college bar pictures galore on that Facebook.
See,
I mean,
okay, so, which is
like,
interesting because to
Phone
me,
parties, bar pic, like that's what it was.
those
That's
are
all
cool.
in there.
To me, it's all young high school T-Bob drinking for the first time and experimenting with everything that happens in high school therein. And it's not good.
Why are we still here?
It's not good. We are still here because you have not answered about the James Webb Telescope.
I don't know what that is. And I don't care.
It's a telescope
I don't care.
that is currently orbiting 1 million miles.
We're done. Have a great
around
day.
the sun, 1
Have
million
a
miles
great
away
day.
from Earth.